The pause process. I'm going to talk you through this process, which is, I think, very useful if you get upset or triggered in a situation. It either can help you prepare for it, but it also can help you to kind of use this technique kind of during an emotional storm, kind of before the storm fully begins. So here it goes. P is for program. So events that pose no real danger to us trigger our survival strategies. And what that means is that so often we find ourselves very upset, maybe angry or sad or powerless or something like that, and feel, like overwhelmed with emotion. Now that's very common. The thing is that often not only do we feel that way, but we also feel that bad about feeling that way, and then we kind of can get into running a negative narrative saying, oh, this always happens to me, or if it's anger, this person always behaves in this way and it's not fair and it's not right and why should they do it, and so forth. So I suppose the P is for program is to say this is natural, but there is another form of programming that can help you kind of divert your attention, and that's a sense that we all have a detached perspective, if you like. That's what human consciousness is. We are aware. We are self-aware beings. And with that self-awareness, perhaps you can just take a few moments to say, oh, I notice I'm angry right now. Name the emotion. I'm sad. I'm stressed. However you want to do it. But the minute you can name it and stop running a narrative, you then have a choice. And that choice could be to say, okay, well, let's try this process. So the next one is A for anchoring. So this is an NLP technique, which is effectively just how do you build a ritual to help you regulate your emotions. And it's something which is, in some sense, not exactly rocket science, and people have all sorts of rituals that they do to help themselves calm down, but often they don't think about doing it at a specific time, or they don't know how to prepare it. So this is something we cover in the NLP training, and that's why I would encourage people to learn NLP, so you can learn how to anchor yourself, so that it means you practice something that then can help you kind of reduce that emotional storm once you've spotted it. For those of you listening who, just want to use this, what about just you're aware of it, you noticed you're angry, so stop. Just stop for a moment and then slow down. Maybe moving your hands down as you slow down. And as you slow down, move your awareness into your body and notice that you're breathing and your heart is beating. And as you move your focus away from your head where all the thinking goes on, down into your body, then what happens is you have a sense of becoming more present. So you're not kind of thinking of the past, the future or something, but you're now there. And now you're there, you can say, okay, well, I have some choices. So that's where the you comes in, up to me. Now, this is a sort of philosophical point. It's all good to have a little philosophy. And here's one which I like, which is the saying that some things are up to us and some things are not up to us. So, is this up to me, the you? So, if somebody has behaved in a way that you don't like, although it may be usually troubling in some ways, it's not up to you how other people behave. Right now, what can you do that is up to you? And the choices you have is how you decide to react in terms of behavior. The emotional reaction of becoming angry or upset is perfectly normal. But having a choice to pause this, stop for a moment, say, okay, what's going on inside me? So if I focus my attention away from the emotional storm, but just say, okay, what is actually going on? Let me begin to become aware of what's happening with my inner words. Often I find myself saying, it's not fair. It shouldn't be like this. Life should be easy. Now, if I notice I say that to myself, there's a self-awareness part of me that says, well, that's completely unrealistic. Life isn't always easy. Life is easy some of the time, and sometimes it's quite difficult. So saying to myself right now, when I'm very upset that this isn't fair and life should be easy and going around in circles, or you might say something different. You might say, like, people should behave better. People should treat me well. Or you might say, I've got to do my best. I always need to do my best. This isn't right. I'm worthless. I haven't done my best. Whatever those words are, I think in the kind of cold light of day, you know they're not exactly right. So press the pause button. You might also be aware of inner pictures or sounds or even a voice from the past, replaying all this. So by being able to notice what's going on in your inner world, that also gives you a choice saying, okay, well, this is kind of a bit of a storm. There's nothing I can do about it other than say, how do I want my attitude to be? Do I want to be at my emotions to be at the beck and call of other people or events? Or am I going to do the one thing that I do have power? And that is the power to choose how I respond. And I can choose right now to simply pause. S then is the next one, self-discipline, self-control. So there's a sense of still you're angry and you want, you're going to kind of want to discharge this energy, go and blow up at someone or maybe blow up within yourself, implode. But there's a certain discipline to say this energy, I can kind of contain it by breathing, by being wise, by accessing that wise part of myself, but also accessing my values. What's important to you? Do you want to live like an animal and just blow up and you have animal impulses that are going to direct what you do? Or are you going to say, yes, I have these strong impulses, these feelings, but my behavior, I can still live according to values such as dignity or integrity or kindness. Make the effort now to do that. It requires a certain discipline, and that discipline can be very useful. Final part is E, extend. At the same time, something has provoked that impulse. And in NLP, we say that all behavior has a positive intention. So what that means is that in some ways, your behavior has a positive intention behind it. If somebody is, behaved in a way which is threatening or unpleasant to you, anger is saying that you want to express a boundary. It's a really good and useful emotion. But blowing up or kind of feeling terrible within yourself, it's better to say, how can I commit to work out something better to do? So give yourself that time to let your kind of mind settle, but do make a commitment to make a considered response within 24 hours. In NLP, we have a sense of how could I move myself and pretend that I was floating forward to a time, maybe 5-6 hours later. I've got home, I've had something to eat, I'm a little bit calmer, and there, sitting on the couch or wherever you are, saying, right, now I commit to thinking about this then. And allow yourself to imagine you are sitting on that couch. Say, I will do it. So that's the extension part. Well, there we are. That's the program anchoring up to me, self-control, extend, pause process. And I hope that will be useful for what happens when we all as humans get upset.